Hey math friends, I'm gonna go ahead and go over some of the stuff that you're gonna be working on this week. And one is area of a rectangle with fractional sides. So this is a little quick lesson on the extra practice and on what you're gonna do for the interactive math notebooks. So I'm gonna start off with a very simple rectangle here, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about area first. So area of a rectangle, so let's say I have this cute little rectangle here. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that the length down here is 3 feet and that the width over here is 2 feet. So if you measure that, it's not really 3 feet, but you know what I mean. That's going to be 3 feet across. 1, 2, and 3. And then if you measure this, this will be 2 feet across. So then because we're trying to find the space that this rectangle takes up on the inside, we're gonna use square units. And in this case, we're using square feet, right? So then you're gonna wanna think of that array that you used to create when we first started working with multiplication. So you go 3 up and 2 across, 1, 2, okay? So that means you have 3 taken 2 times, correct? So to find the area, you are going to then count on the inside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the area of this rectangle is 6 square feet. Now you can't always just count them or even draw them because sometimes they're bigger, the numbers are larger and it'll take forever, or they're fractions. So you have to know the formula. So the formula for finding area of a rectangle is length times width. And remember, we use this cute little cursive L to show length in math, because if we used just area equals L times W, this looks like a 1. So we don't use that anymore. We use this cursive L to show length. So now I'm just gonna say that this is my length, 6/7, and 1/2 is my width. And so I'm gonna plug those numbers in to my formula, 6/7 times 1/2. So you're finding 1/2 of 6/7, right? So you're gonna just multiply across 6 times 1 and 7 times 2, 14. Now this has a common factor. Both these, the numerator and the denominator, have a common factor of 2. So I can reduce it by dividing by 2 over 2 and getting an equivalent fraction to 6/14, which is 3/7. So the answer is 3/7. Our unit of measurement is inches squared. So when you think about it, if you took 1/2 of 6/7, you're gonna get 3/7, right? So this whole area of this rectangle is 3/7 of an inch squared, or of a squared inch. Now remember, we use this little 2 up here above the unit of measurement to show that that inch is actually a square inch. And I'm going to talk about that in this next problem. Right here. Okay, so this is a word problem, and some of you, the work you're going to be doing are word problems, which is a little bit more realistic to what you do in your everyday world. A sheet of copy paper. Oh my gosh, we have one right here. It has the length of 11 inches. So this right here is 11 inches, and the width is 8.5 inches. So what is the area of this paper? How many square inches can I put inside this paper? And so what that means is if I were to create actual 1 square inch and cut a bunch of them up, how many would I need to cover this entire paper? So remember, our formula for finding area of a rectangle is length times width. So I'm just gonna plug these numbers in. We're saying that 11 is the length and 8.5 is the width. So area equals 11 times 8.5. Okay, so now you can use those area models that we talked about last week to multiply a whole number times a mixed number, which basically means you would multiply this 11 times the 8 and 11 times the 1/2 and then add them together, like finding the partial product. Or you can flip this mixed number into an improper fraction, which is what I'm gonna do right now. So 11 times 17 over 2. And then just you see how I keep putting area, because I just keep bringing my equations down as I simplify them. So I think 11 times 17 is 187. divided by 2. And so I'm gonna have to do that division out because I can't do that in my head. It's not an even number. So 2 can go into 18 9 times, which is 18, subtract 0, bring down the 7. 2 can go into 7 3 times, which is 6, subtract and get 1. Now I'm gonna bring this remainder up as my numerator and put it over my divisor as my new denominator. So my final answer, area equals 93.5. Now our unit of measurement is inches squared. So I would need 93.5 square inches to cover this whole paper. Whew. All right, so the work you guys are gonna do is located on Google Classroom. You can print these task cards out, or you can just take a look at the document. It's on a PDF. There's 10 of them, and you can figure out the answers. If you are gonna print them, you can print out the recording sheet and save this for tomorrow. If you wanna just look on your computer and do them and write your answers down on another sheet of paper, just make sure you number them 1 through 10, write your answer. Don't forget your unit, and don't forget that it is units squared is your answer. And I will post the answers on Tuesday's Google Classroom assignment, so you can check your work.